Good morning, traders. Greg here from Master Trader. Well, yesterday started the day saying everybody was happy because most things were up pre-market and looked higher. And the day turned out to be a very nice up day. You can see the wide range green bar here in the S&Ps, in the futures there. And while this didn't come after a multiple day move higher, it was after some buying, and it's at the top of the range now, and wide range bars into the top of a range typically result in a consolidation day. You can see on the pre-market chart, as it moved up to resistance there, it came back in, and it's sitting on this little shelf of support. These little lines here, if you're wondering what they are, they just simply mark yesterday's close and today's open. And it typically lines up with some reference point where traders will focus. And you see if, is it above the prior day and the open. If it is, it's seen as a positive sign and vice versa. So with top of the trend here, the weekly chart is still up, assuming some disastrous news hasn't come out today or tomorrow, and the week ends with a green candle like this. We may get a little bit more of a consolidation, but the pattern suggests, pushing up above this area here, and we'll see how that plays out. Let's go to the Qs. And now here you have several days up and the wide range bar, and here is, I explained to you, voids yesterday and momentum moves. And while this isn't a straight up move, it's more of a bullish angle that it's ascending at with overlapping bars here. But still a strong move. And as you see, there really isn't any clear reference point of support. So while it's not as obvious as what I showed you here, right, the straight down move where there's nothing, the void, and then there was nothing to stop it from moving higher. So now it's reached this level here, the area of this prior high. Yesterday's big bar has created a bit of a void, but you know what? Maybe this can find some support here. It's a tougher structure, if you will, of prices to determine where a turning point might be. So just generally, you could say a 50% retracement, but ideally this doesn't retrace much. The ideal scenario is a choppy consolidation day where, not that I want that to happen, but it's a type of day where most traders get chopped up. Meaning, so you've had the wide range bar day. Historically, you get a narrow range day or a low volatility day. It is up near resistance. So just based on market structure, this probably isn't going to be a day where you're going to get a lot of momentum. Historically, that's the way it is. So, you be careful of it unless you get some kind of a bigger retracement there. Let's take a look at oil, which is kind of just doing nothing here, going sideways a bit. So there's nothing to take away from that. And the Dow here, Dow futures, nice wide range bar yesterday. Should be ideally an inside day. It peekabooed up above the highs here. The weekly is in an uptrend. It looks good. And I looked at oil, bonds. Where's my bonds? There we go. Bonds down a little bit on the day. Big move down, and they really can't get anything going here. So we'll see what happens. Now, here's a little takeaway, a little lesson here. I try to provide you guys with lessons when I do these. You have a big momentum move here. Right? You tried to stall and just kept going. Big momentum move. You have the support right here. Let's just assume for the moment that this is a feeble bounce and it's going to roll right back over here, and it drops into this area here and begins to stabilize. Well, then you're going to have all the indicator gurus showing their latest, greatest proprietary indicator that's for sale. That's going to be showing you oversold and a divergence, a bullish divergence there. So watch for that. And all's the takeaway here to look at this through a master trader price reader, if you will, is that this was strong momentum. It was a small bounce, and the momentum to the downside here was much less than it was previously, so the indicator will show a bullish divergence. Right? That's all that is. You don't need this stuff. Take it off your chart. It's a lot easier to read what's going on by just looking at the prices. Okay, Snap gets an upgrade today. Can you believe this? There's no support here. I guess they figure it's cheap, and this isn't something, just based on price action here that I'm willing, or anybody that I've educated is going to jump in here other than possible day trades. If it holds above this level here where it's broken this short-term downtrend and maybe can keep going, that could be a consideration. But in any event, it's going to need a lot more work before this could be something to consider for a swing and or core trade. Goldman Sachs is up here a little bit, and as you know, or should know, financials are going to be reporting. Some of the financials, Citibank for one, is going to be reporting earnings tomorrow. So financials are going to be in focus. Now, if they're good, Goldman here has underperformed, many of them chopping around. But a lot of times, these stocks that underperform tend to play catch up. And what we have here is a pretty nice bottom. It's a bit whippy, but look at the downside here and the volume and the deep retracement and the higher low and the higher high. And now it's consolidating at resistance. So in the essence of this takeaway is that it's absorbing supply. Right? So here's the resistance, which is supply. And it's absorbing it here by going sideways versus down again. Now, when those earnings come out, if financials are moving up again, this could be one that could have a really nice move. Now, you've got the top of this little range here, but this top of range in relation to this bottoming action, I discount that. That's one of the ways, more advanced ways of reading support and resistance. And that, what's the weight of the evidence is the way I like to explain it. Meaning, is this bottoming action more potent than this high from several months ago? I think we'd all agree that yes. Is it a focal point? Yes. But this consolidation, everything I've explained, that bullish price action, is more powerful than this high. Now, what will ignite it? Well, good earnings and other financials starting to move, and this one could play catch-up. And when I say, play catch-up, it showed relative weakness compared to Citibank, which is led, and it's going to report earnings tomorrow. So this is going to be in focus. JP Morgan, which also moved up, not as much as Citi, but it did move. And Wells Fargo has pulled back here. So check the earnings on these, know what's coming out. But these financials could be where money will flow into again, since they have been in play and showed some relative weakness when the techs, the money flowed out of them, and they've come roaring back. Let's take a quick look at that. I can find that. Oh, before I look at those, solar. Check out solar. These have been way beaten down. They've got a bottom here. They're up. They're up a bit here. Pre-market, about 0.8% or so. But some of these are looking good. Check out the solar stocks or the ETF. And lastly, FDN. The internet stocks came roaring back, another new high. They survived. They survived this nasty down bar, this nasty one, this pullback, and retesting the low and new highs. So, Facebook, another new all-time high. And I'm told there are, guys, Dan is going to be doing a webinar pretty soon talking about different types of option strategies. And one of the prominent option strategies by those option traders that are just about the numbers and volatility and don't even look at charts. They look at this kind of a pattern and say, let's short it. And while I wouldn't disagree that it could have a short-term pullback, most options in a low volatility environment like this, you have to go out a month and or more to get some premium. And why pick on the strongest beast out in the market to bet against? Now, if you're a day trader and you're selling a climactic 5-minute reversal and that type of thing, I'm okay with that. However, betting against the strongest stock, or one of the strongest stocks in the market, and having to have a horizon of a month and or more, a month and a half, or what, doesn't make sense to me. And Dan's going to be doing some talks on that. I'm sure you're going to find it really interesting. We'll be alerting you when he'll be doing that. But when you combine chart analysis with option strategies, it's phenomenal. So last thing I want to share with you as far as today goes, being a consolidation day, you've had option traders, last night betting the farm that the market's going to move higher. So it's probably not going to move much higher before some of the premium come out of those calls, and those traders lose their money. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, and that's why knowing extremes in sentiment and market breadth is a very powerful piece of information. So that's it, guys. Have a great trading day. We'll talk tomorrow.